History remembers battles, but it rarely remembers the warnings that were ignored. December 26, 1943, the Arctic Sea, north of Norway. A German battlecruiser moves through frozen darkness. Her captain has received a warning. Enemy ships are near. British forces are positioning. The sea is not safe. He is told to turn back. He does not. Exactly 11 minutes later, the first shells will fall. And everything, the ship, the crew, the man, will begin to vanish. This is not a story about a battle. This is a story about silence, about the space between a warning and a decision, and about the price of believing you cannot be wrong. By 1943, the Atlantic and Arctic had become graveyards. The war at sea was fought in silence. No crowds, no witnesses. Just steel, water, and waiting. German surface ships still prowled the northern routes, hunting Allied convoys bound for the Soviet Union. These were not battles of speed. They were battles of patience, of listening, of interpreting shadows on radar screens and static in radio transmissions. The Arctic was merciless. 20 hours of darkness. Temperatures that froze exposed skin in minutes. Waves that swallowed lifeboats whole. In these waters, a ship was not just a weapon. It was a fragile island of warmth and life, surrounded by death in every direction. And in this cold theater of war, there was no forgiveness. Not for mistakes, not for hesitation, and not for arrogance. Rear Admiral Eric Bay was not a reckless man. He had spent decades at sea. He understood currents, weather, and the mathematics of naval engagement. He had commanded destroyers in battle. He had survived. By the winter of 1943, he was one of Germany's most experienced naval officers. He had seen men die. He had given orders that sent ships into fire. And he had learned over many years to trust his own judgment. This was his strength. It would also be his end. Bay had been given command of the Scharnhorst only recently. He knew her capabilities. 31,000 tons, 9-11-inch guns. A speed that could outrun most pursuers. He had survived storms. He had survived torpedoes. He had survived enemy fire. A warning did not frighten him. He had heard warnings before. The message came from Naval Command. It was not ambiguous. British warships had been detected. Heavy units, cruisers, possibly a battleship. They were moving to intercept. The convoy Scharnhorst was hunting was protected. The mission had become a trap. Command advised caution. Some officers aboard read the intelligence with concern. The British had advantages: radar, numbers, coordination. One officer later recalled the mood on the bridge. There was unease. There was silence. There was the weight of a question no one wanted to ask. But they did not turn back. He did not alter course significantly. He assessed the risk and dismissed it. Perhaps he believed the Scharnhorst was fast enough. Perhaps he believed the darkness would protect them. Perhaps he simply could not accept that his mission would fail before it began. He did not deny the warning. He simply did not believe it mattered. 11 minutes. That is how long he had. Not hours. Not days. 11 minutes between the moment the danger became undeniable and the moment his ship was struck. The crew did not know. They were at their posts. Engineers monitored the boilers. Gunners stood by their turrets. Somewhere below deck, men wrote letters they would never send. The ship moved forward. 40,000 horsepower pushed her through black water. Her radar swept the sea. But the British were already watching. HMS Duke of York, 35,000 tons. 10 14-inch guns. She had been shadowing the Scharnhorst for hours, waiting, positioning, and now she was ready. Minute 1. Scharnhorst holds her course. Minute 3. The British battleship closes the distance. Radar operators aboard Duke of York confirm the target. Minute 5. Fire control officers calculate the range. 22,000 yards. Minute 7. Bay receives confirmation. Enemy contact. Bearing established. But it is too late to run. Minute 9. The British guns are trained. The order is given. Minute 11. The first salvo is fired. 4 shells arc through the Arctic darkness. They take 30 seconds to arrive. And when they do, everything changes. The first shell struck forward, then another. And another. The Scharnhorst shuddered. Fire erupted. Her own guns returned fire, but the British had the advantage. They had position, they had numbers. They had been waiting. For the next 2 hours, the battle raged. British cruisers circled. Destroyers launched torpedoes. Duke of York fired broadside after broadside. Scharnhorst fought. Her crew did not surrender. They did not panic. They did what sailors do. They tried to survive. But the sea was already claiming them. Flooding, fires, explosions below deck. One by one, her guns fell silent. By 7:45 in the evening, the ship was listing badly. She was burning, she was sinking. And then she was gone. The Arctic closed over her. Cold, final, absolute. War does not won twice. The silence returned. It always does. Where the Scharnhorst had been, there was now only water, debris, oil, and the cold. 1,932 men had served aboard her. 36 survived. Rear Admiral Eric Bay was not among them. He went down with the ship. His body was never recovered. The British ships searched the wreckage for survivors. They pulled frozen men from the water. Men who had been enemies only minutes before. There was no celebration, no cheering, just the grim work of rescue. And then departure. The convoy Bay had been hunting continued east. The supplies reached the Soviet Union. The war went on. And the Scharnhorst pride of the German surface fleet became a footnote. A wreck. A grave. What did Bay think in those final minutes? Did he regret the decision? Did he think of the warning? Did he understand at the end that the sea does not negotiate? We will never know. The war is full of men like him. Men who were skilled. Men who were experienced. Men who had survived everything until they didn't. Confidence is not a flaw. But in war, confidence becomes arrogance at the precise moment you stop listening. And arrogance in war is fatal. The warning Bay received was not unclear. It was not ambiguous, it was a choice, and he made it. The sea did not judge him. It simply moved on. The waves closed, the cold deepened. And the Scharnhorst, with all her guns and armor and horsepower, became nothing more than iron resting on the ocean floor. The wreck of the Scharnhorst was discovered in 2000. She lies 290 meters below the surface of the Norwegian Sea. The site is designated a war grave.